My grandmother Davika called it the family business, but it was sex trafficking. I found her old laptop videos, ledgers, names. She said I'd inherit it. The night I exposed her, KSBS stormed the house. She clutched her chest, playing heart attack. I held Sunita as she cried. That was 5 years ago. Now Davika Monroe rots in prison. But some legacies don't die easily. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. As a kid, I thought obedience was love. Grandma trained us to smile, cook, walk silently. I watched her slap Neera, my mom, for refusing a client. She said Neera was weak, ungrateful. I believed her. When I got my first anklet, I cried with pride. It meant I mattered. Priya disappeared soon after, sent to India. Grandma said it was for marriage. I never questioned. Her approval was everything until it wasn't. Grandma praised silence. A good girl never complains, she'd say, while wiping blood from Alicia's nose. I learned to swallow pain, to nod, to keep secrets. I saw Vikram take girls to hotel rooms. Madhu tried to run one. She got locked in the pantry for 2 days. Neera gave me a bracelet, silver and delicate. Don't become me, she whispered. I wore it like armor, not knowing it marked me as next in line. The more I cleaned out Grandma's attic, the more I found ledgers, IDs, CD cards. Alicia walked in one night shaking. Don't tell her, she begged. I scanned old tapes. Sunita's voice echoed, terrified. I wanted to scream. Vikram hovered at the stairs, always watching. My bracelet cracked against the desk as I fumbled. I couldn't tell who to trust. My stomach churned every time Grandma smiled. What else had she hidden in plain sight? Priya came back from India unannounced. She hugged me tight, trembling. She sent me to silence, she whispered. Her medical records were missing. I asked about Neera. Priya looked away. Detective Reed called. Anonymous tip about Monroe Estates. I panicked. Alicia deleted texts, terrified. Vikram confronted me, breathing threats. I clutched the cracked bracelet. It dug into my wrist like truth. Was I ready to burn down everything tied to my name? I followed Vikram to the basement, hidden behind crates, boxes of phones. Passports, cash. Maddie saw me and broke down. I tried to tell. She sobbed. We hugged, shaking. Grandma appeared silent, her eyes cold. Curiosity ruins good girls, she hissed. My legs trembled. Reed texted again, need confirmation. Not guesses. I hated how my hands shook. I hid the bracelet in my sock drawer. The house reeked of lavender and lies. Could I still walk away? Alicia screamed at dinner. You don't get to decide who gets sold. Silence hit the room like a slap. Grandma sipped tea. Your mother agreed, she said coldly. I stared at the cracked teacup in my hand. It cut me slightly. I didn't flinch. Maddie grabbed Alicia's hand. Vikram stood slowly. Priya muttered prayers. My phone buzzed. KSBS agent Collins was nearby. I texted Reed, one word, ready. Could justice finally step through these cursed doors? KSBS arrived mid-celebration. Grandma's 70th birthday. Guests clapping, cake untouched. I pulled Sunita aside, whispered safety. Vikram lunged, blocked the door. Collins flashed her badge. We have a warrant. Davika sneered. You think they'll believe whores? I handed over the ledgers. Alicia handed a flash drive. Grandma gasped, clutched her chest. Not this act again. I muttered. Reed cuffed Vikram. Madhu sobbed in Priya's arms. For the first time, I didn't feel small. The courtroom smelled like bleach and fear. Grandma wore pearls, pretending dignity. I took the stand. My voice trembled but didn't break. She auctioned girls like cattle. Alicia held my bracelet in the gallery. Davika's lawyer objected. Reed played footage. Sunita crying. Names listed. Gasps echoed. Davika laughed, then snapped. They loved it. The room froze. Collins stood. That's enough. The gavel slammed to guilty. I exhaled. The chain shattered, not just hers, but mine too. Vikram took a plea deal. Offered names. The buy-rated Patel's clinic, hidden cameras. Kills files. Alicia threw up in the hallway. Priya refused a gag order. She died protecting nothing, she said of Neera. Grandma refused visitors. I got my old diary back, pages torn, stained. Sunita hugged me outside the courthouse. You saved us. I didn't feel like a hero. Just a girl who broke silence. My bracelet stayed in a drawer, untouched. Davika's empire collapsed overnight. Monroe Estates froze accounts. Clients fled. Headlines called her the matriarch of misery. Priya testified to forced medical exams. Alicia revealed payout logs. I stared at our old house, silent, cold, no longer home. Maddie lit candles for lost girls. I lit one for Neera. She fought alone, I whispered. The wind howled through broken windows. I didn't feel peace, just purpose. Justice wasn't clean, but it was happening. That had to count. I thought Uncle Raj was another predator, but his Venmo showed payouts, hush money to help girls escape. Madhu found letters from him, hidden in old books. He was trying, she said. Neera's voicemail surfaced. She planned to leak everything. Her overdose wasn't despair, it was sabotage. She sent her final journal to Priya. And this, it read. I sobbed, holding her voice in my hands. My mother fought until the end. I was never truly alone. Dr. Langston's report stunned us. Sunita wasn't the youngest. Another victim, only 8, identified Grandma's scent. Alicia froze. I thought I was youngest, she whispered. Collins linked the scent to Davika's perfume, rose ember. Discontinued years ago. Vikram denied everything. Langston found hidden footage. Neera confronting Davika. You're breeding victims, she yelled. That clip broke the jury. I cried in the hallway. My mother's bravery didn't vanish. It had just been buried in files no one dared open. Patel tried fleeing to Dubai. ICE caught him at JIFK. His phone had hundreds of contacts, clients, suppliers, even a judge. Reed called it a cartel in pearls. Grandma smirked when told. They'll replace me, she said. I stared at her, revolted. Not if we keep shining lights. Alicia planned a podcast. Priya filed lawsuits. Maddie created an art exhibit, Unseen Scars. We weren't just survivors, we were witnesses. That terrified them more than any conviction. Grandma's will left everything to me. Monroe Estates, offshore accounts, even the properties used for trafficking. Your legacy, the lawyer said. I spat on the papers. Burn it. We auctioned assets for survivor funds. The house was bulldozed. I kept one brick cracked, mossy. Alicia painted it gold. Even ruins hold truth, she said. The media called me heiress of horror, but I chose a different inheritance. Truth, exposure, healing. Davika's name won't define us. One journalist dug too deep and covered payments to influencers who promoted Monroe charities, smiling girls, school drives, all a smokescreen. I recognized one girl, Sheila, missing since 2017. Her picture surfaced in a ledger. The article blew up. Public donations poured into our survivor shelter. Priya cried reading letters from strangers. They see us now, she whispered. Grandma's myth unraveled faster than we dreamed. I held Alicia's hand. We'd taken down an empire built on silence. An anonymous donor paid for therapy for every girl involved. Dr. Langston hosted weekly group sessions. I watched Sunita color a butterfly smiling. Maddie shared poems. Alicia stopped flinching. Healing isn't linear, Priya reminded us. The bracelet stayed on my desk, no longer cracked. Now framed, Colin said new laws were being drafted. You started this, she told me. I didn't feel pride, just hope. The girls were laughing again. That sound was worth everything. Alicia found a hidden photo in Grandma's Bible mirror, pregnant, standing beside a hospital sign. The child was never mentioned. We searched, adoption records matched. Her name was Lena, now 19, studying criminal justice. I messaged her, she replied, I've always felt something missing. We met at a coffee shop. Her eyes mirrored mine. We hugged for a long time. Near left more than a warning, she left a legacy of strength we never knew existed. Lena joined our shelter as an intern. She reviewed cases, helped digitize records. I want to be useful, she said. Watching her, I saw Neera's fire. Alicia taught her how to file restraining orders. Priya shared self-defense tips. Maddie painted her portrait. Reed said, she's got your mother's stare. I smiled. Our team wasn't just healing, we were building. The darkness didn't win. Each girl saved, each truth shared, each bond formed. It all meant something now. Devika sent one final letter from prison. You betrayed blood, it read. I burned it without reading further. Alicia read hers aloud, full of venom, no remorse. She'll rot, Priya said. But Lena asked, do we become her by hating her? That night we held a silent vigil. Maddie released sky lanterns. I didn't forgive, but I released her grip on me. The fire dimmed in my heart. What stayed was something fiercer, hope that never bowed. I opened a storage box from Grandma's garage. Inside were old contracts, many signed with initials. We'd cross-checked them aliases. Some girls had disappeared off records after those dates. KSBS reopened cold cases. Priya cried reading one name, her childhood friend, long believed a runaway. Alicia created a memorial wall. We pasted names, lit candles. Each one was a story stolen. The weight felt unbearable, but it reminded us why we fought. Silence had cost too much. Matta's artwork was vandalized. Liar spray painted across the canvas. The gallery offered apologies. Lena installed security cameras. Alicia stayed overnight with pepper spray. I gave a statement to the press. Truth makes monsters nervous, I said. That quote trended. Survivors messaged us. One girl mailed a necklace, engraved with still here. Priya held it to her chest. We're not just surviving anymore, she whispered. The more they tried to erase us, the louder we became. Vikram's appeal failed. His face on TV triggered panic in Sunita. Dr. Langston guided her breathing. I threw my remote. Alicia caught my hand. He wouldn't touch anyone again. Later, we watched courtroom footage. Vikram sobbing, begging. Lena scoffed. They always cry when power's gone. Priya lit incense for closure. That night, I dreamt of Neera standing tall, untouched by fear. I woke up gasping, but not from dread. It was the first time I felt free. A podcast invited me to share our story. I hesitated. But Alicia said, use your voice. I recorded in one take, no edits. My voice cracked. I named names, recounted trauma. The host cried. The episode went viral. Survivors reached out globally. Some offered help. Others just said thank you. I wasn't just speaking for us, I was igniting others. Let the fire spread, Lena said. And it did. Silence didn't just end, it chattered across continents. A local councilwoman proposed a bill named Neera's Law. It would mandate trauma training for law enforcement, ensure funding for shelters. Priya testified. Reed offered stats. Alicia wore the bracelet in solidarity. I stood before lawmakers, voice steady. My mother died unheard. Let others live differently. The room applauded. That night, we gathered candles, prayers, laughter. Maddie drew Neera with wings. Sunita danced. Lena sang. We weren't haunted anymore. We were builders now with light. The bracelet, once cracked and cursed, now sat in a museum exhibit. Voices reclaimed. I stood beside it during opening night. A little girl stared at it and looked at me. You're strong, she said. I smiled. So are you. Alicia wiped a tear. Maddie read a poem. Priya thanked donors. Lena guided visitors. Every artifact screamed survival. Justice wasn't about courtrooms, it was about being seen, being believed. That night, the past didn't own us anymore. I visited Grandma once just to look her in the eyes. Prison glass between us. She aged, but the cruelty stayed. Pity, she said. You could have been rich. I leaned forward. I am just not the way you meant. She laughed bitterly. You'll come back. Blood always does. I shook my head. Not this bloodline. I left without turning back. Outside, the air felt cleaner. The sun hit my face. I wasn't hers anymore. Never again. Sunita turned 18. We held a party. Balloons, cake, music. She wore a blue dress, twirled like freedom. Alicia cried. Maddie snapped photos. Priya gave her a gold necklace. To remind you you're priceless. Reed stopped by with flowers. Lena gave a speech. You're not a statistic, you're a storm. I hugged Sunita tight. She whispered, thank you for choosing to fight. That night, under string lights, laughter echoed. We weren't broken girls anymore. We were whole. After everything, I became someone who no longer flinched at power. I lost family, illusions, safety. But I gained voice, community fire. Grandma's empire wasn't just bricks, it was silence. We tore that down. My cracked bracelet, now framed, reminds me where I started. Lena's presence showed me healing isn't about forgetting, it's about remembering differently. Maddie's laughter, Alicia's strength, Sunita's joy, they rebuilt me. I don't carry shame anymore. I carry a mission. I carry all of them. I sometimes replay Neera's last voicemail. Her voice calm, tired but determined. Don't be like me. Be louder. That echoes in everything I do. I started journaling again. Writing truths no one can erase. I framed a photo of us girls before the trial. Before the headlines, just us, messy and real. Reed once said, justice is slow, but voices accelerate it. He's right. Each time I speak, I feel Neera beside me. We're louder together. Sometimes I still walk by Monroe Estate's empty lot. Nothing but weeds and gravel now. But I imagine laughter echoing, not screams. Alicia said, we planted something better and we did. Each girl who walks into our shelter carries hope. The past doesn't vanish but it shifts, it no longer owns us. I tell every new survivor, you're not alone. And you never were. That's the lesson Neera left. That's the legacy we chose to keep. Now, Devika Monroe is a name in court records, not my identity. Monroe Estates became a public park. Kids play where secrets once rotted. Alicia leads trauma workshops. Lena studies law. I speak at schools. We honor every girl silenced. The bracelet is on display. Cracked real. Truth, not legacy, finds us now. And in that, we're finally free. Justice doesn't end, it begins with us. Maddie opened a center for survivor artists. Sunita mentors younger girls. Priya joined Kesbeads. Our scars became fuel. The world sees us now not as victims, but as leaders. We built something Devika never could love, rooted in truth. Each meeting, each story shared, chips away at the old darkness. That's our empire now, and we protect it fiercely with our voices. Our choices, and our unbreakable bond. Each year, we gather on Neera's birthday. Candles, music, stories. Lena reads from her journal. Alicia bakes cookies. Priya brings flowers. We remember. We celebrate. Neera wasn't a shadow, she was the spark. Her defiance lit our path. Now, her daughters by blood or by bond walk it proudly. Devika tried to break us. Instead, we rose and will keep rising. That's what Neera wanted. That's what we became. I no longer fear mirrors. I see strength where shame once lived. The cracked bracelet. The courthouse photo. Lena's laughter, proof we survived. Alicia once said, our story doesn't end in pain. She was right. We write new chapters every day. Devika's house is gone, but our home built on truth stands tall. And in that home, every girl who enters hears one truth: you were never the problem. You were always the power. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe to check out more stories on my channel.